Some years ago, so we went in a Jamaat to South America from Pakistan. It was ladies also. And so one of our members of the Jamaat, he was actually in the cloth market in Karachi. And pretty good business he had, and he was, pretty well off. And so before we left on the journey, so being in the cloth market, he's going to make himself some nice cloth to take with him, right? So he made new suits, however many, to take along on the journey, 4 months, it's a long time, so he made a good amount, right? Okay, fine. So, when we go in the Jamaat, so usually what they tell you, when you're flying somewhere, so you keep one change of clothes with you. Because you don't know, maybe you get separated from your bag, or you don't know what might happen. Okay? So Khalid, his name was Khalid, by the way. Probably shouldn't even mention his name, but I will. So he was the only one who actually, followed that instruction. I don't think any of the rest of us actually did that, but he did. So he kept one, So we left from Pakistan. We went to the Caribbean, actually. We went to 5 different countries in the Caribbean. So when we got to Trinidad. So everybody's bags comes except Khalid's, with all his new suits. Right? Oh, okay. So now what? Now what? I've got an extra one, So actually, for 4 months, the bag never came. And so he had one, cloth to wear, and he had one to wash, which was more than a lot of Sahaba had. Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, at one point, he was late for Jummah. Then he came and he said, I'm sorry, folks, but, I have one cloth, and I had one, suit, and I had to wash it. I had to wait for it to dry. Amir al-Mu'mineen, the biggest empire, the strongest and the most powerful empire probably the world has ever seen, really. If you think about it. Okay, so 4 months goes by, and our brother Khalid, he washes one, wears one. And then, so by the end of this 4 months, he says, you know what? That's all I needed. That's all I needed. So why do I need this big bag, this big suitcase? And you know what? When we got back to Karachi, there his bag was sitting there. All right, learn your lesson. Take your stuff. Go ahead, pass. So, subhanallah. I remember, when soon after I got married, back in the early 70s. So I bought this sewing machine for my wife. And in the old days, sewing machines were pretty heavy. So I was carrying it, and then, so she's looking at it. So, you know what? How are we going to carry this on the sirat? This is going to be difficult. We really don't need this kind of stuff, So if we have yaqeen, so that's the lesson. We don't need all these clothes. We don't need all these houses. We don't need all of this stuff. We're travelers. You're travelers. So act like a traveler. You get down at the station there on the highway. Oh, let's build a nice house here. Let's plant a garden. You're just here for 5 minutes, man. You're going, But we're just here for a few moments. 50,000 years, Yawm al-Qiyamah. So what is this 100 years life? It's like 2.5 minutes. You're just here for a moment, and we're gone. We don't need to get carried away with all of this stuff.